Back to my unpopular opinion. Thank you for tuning in. If this is your first time here, subscribe to the channel. If it's not your first time, still subscribe. Turn your post notifications on and like the video, all that good stuff. If you like my commentary, which I think you will. If you love unpopular opinions, if you love a little humor, comedy, I say a lot of real stuff on this channel, but I also like to do it in like a fun, silly way. So I do a lot of fun little nicknames and things like that. That's just for people who don't get it, but those that get it. Okay. So the first topic I want to talk about is the queen of rap, the greatest female rapper of all time, Nicki Minaj, and how she's been ranked the number one female rapper of this century, of the 21st century, by Billboard, which I'm shocked because Billboard has been doing some little fugazi type of stuff lately. They've been a little bit questionable with some of the accolades that they've been giving away, but this, I would have to say, they got it right. When they get it right, they get it right. And they got it right with this because obviously Nicki is the best. She's the greatest. Not even just with her stats, her numbers, not even just with the support from the fans, but her talent and, just everything that she has is just like the full package for her. Whether you like her or not, you cannot take away any of her accolades, and they try all the time. We all know that, but it's just impossible. Like when you're just destined for something, you're just destined for it. Like Nicki said, who God bless, no man can curse ever. So all the different things that they've done against her, it just doesn't stop her from being successful. And that's why I love her so much. It's so crazy how I've never seen anyone, especially in that industry, doing the stuff that she's doing with all the hate and adversity that she gets. Most of them would fold under pressure, would give up. They wouldn't have the favor to continue on the way she does, but it's just weird how she's able to work it out. Like, I'm amazed by it. She has some of the biggest names against her, some of the most powerful executives and people behind the scenes against her, and yet she still wins and rises. So all of her past music, when she has songs like Win Again and stuff like that, it's just crazy how like she spoke to her future, about all the hate she would get, but how it still would not stop her success. That's that abundance that Sagittariuses have. Like, if you know anything about astrology, you know that they're ruled by Jupiter, which is all about abundance and expansion, luck, growth, and things like that. I actually have Sagittarius in my Jupiter placement, so I understand it. But Nicki embodies that energy. It's just like, it's crazy because there's no way you would deal with all the stuff she's dealt with and then still be getting accolades like number one female rapper of the 21st century. Like, that's crazy. But Billboard, you got it right with that one. Okay, I have to give it to you with that one. I ain't gonna lie. And I'm happy to see it. And I know her haters are hating it. So congrats to Nicki for that. Nicki also had another accolade. She is they said she has become the first female rapper of 2025 to surpass 100 million streams on Spotify. So not only is she the most streamed female rapper on Spotify, because that recently broke again, because she always breaks that every now and again. And then now she is, the number one female rapper to surpass 100 million streams on Spotify. And Spotify, when they get it right, they get it right too. I'm not going to lie. Sometimes, I know that Doja and her payola, they try to, give her the number one spot on Spotify for female rappers and stuff like that. But Nicki continues to break that every time. So, Barbs, if you are streaming Nicki's music, it's hard for me too, but just make sure you are streaming on Spotify as well, because we need to keep her at that number one spot. Even without it, she's still number one regardless. But, it's still the principle. Like, we have to continue to make sure that she is getting the accolades that she deserves. The Barbs are a big part of that as well. So stream on, not only on Apple Music and the other streaming services, but also stream on Spotify. It's hard for me because I don't have the subscription with Spotify. And I just love how easy it is with Apple Music. So if you don't have the Spotify subscription and you just listening to it regular, they make you listen to all these ads and different things. But just do it for Nicki, okay? Do it for the queen, all right? She has the odds against her, and we need to make her beat the odds, as always. So congrats to Nicki for that. She's still the best to ever do it. Moving forward to the Queen Drake herself. Queen Drake. I have a love-hate relationship or view of Drake. I like him, you know, in some of his music, but I hate the way that he does things, and I don't like the way he moves. But he's a Scorpio, you know, no shade to the Scorpios out there. I love some of y'all, but y'all know y'all ways are crazy. Like, whew, some of these Scorpios are a trip. And just to give you a quick little example of some crazy Scorpios and to do some crazy stuff, Diddy was a Scorpio. Stevie J is a Scorpio. Jocelyn is a Scorpio. Erica Mena is a Scorpio. Like, the Scorps, y'all be tripping, okay? Y'all be tripping. So, and y'all move real snaky sometimes, and it's just weird how y'all don't see it, and it's just all chaotic. So, Drake, you know, I've mentioned before some of the things that he has gone through recently. I mean, it kind of brings us a little bit of joy because he really needed to humble himself, and he needed to learn how to have some humility and some loyalty, most importantly, to the people that have supported him, you know, such as Nicki Minaj, who supported him, and he never supports her the same way in return. But Drake has also been crowned by Billboard as the number two, excuse me, the number two biggest artist of the 21st century. We'll get to who's number one in a minute, but the number two biggest artist of the 21st century. Now, am I the hugest Drake fan? No, but that is a major accolade. Let's be very clear. That's a major accolade. So for everybody to be saying, oh, Drake canceled and Kendrick did this and he took an L. I mean, he may have taken an L in the court of public opinion and, you know, by the general public's opinion, because they love to see you rise and fall. That's just the weird thing that the general public do. They want to make you rise, but they also can't wait to see you fall. That's not my issue with Drake. I just said what my issue is. But, you know, it don't look like he's taking too many L's for him to be the number two biggest artist of the 21st century. You know, he's been having other accolades as well. So whether you like Drake or not, you cannot take away his music catalog, his work ethic, his fan base. Like, people still support him regardless. And he's not going to go anywhere. I know they want him to, and they feel like, oh, we ended him. I'm sorry. Drake has solidified himself in music, period. He's not going anywhere anytime soon, whether y'all like him or not. So you can give your opinion on him, but he gonna continue to break records like he just did. He's the number two biggest artist in the 21st century, and that's huge for a rapper, and that's huge for a rapper that is a person of color. Now, although Drake is not fully black, we do know he is part Jewish, and I tried to let some people know, like, Drake has the connections that these other rappers will never have. And I can't go too far into that, but if you know, you know. So trying to come up against him with the connections and the roots that he has, you know, genetically, you know, nice try, but you just can't do that, especially if you're a black male artist like Kendrick or Jay-Z the Moose. And people like that. You guys don't have that genetic connection that Drake does. And we're not going to go too far into it, but y'all get it if you get it. So Drake ain't going nowhere. Hate to say it, but he's not. So let's move forward to the number one it says Taylor Swift was crowned the number one biggest artist of the 21st century. And that's even over Grandma B, you know, Grandma Beyonce. Y'all know that's my nickname for her right now. I might change it in the future. But, you know, Grandma B, you know, people thought she should have that number one spot, but Billboard gave it to the Queen, Taylor Swift. Now, I know some people like to refer to Beyonce as the Queen of Music, but I'm sorry, she is not. I know that's what she aspires to be. She tries to call herself that, to be the self-proclaimed Queen of Music. But, baby girl, you can't be the Queen of Music when you got somebody like Taylor Swift constantly being over you and breaking records and, you know, getting that spot that you want, you know. So Taylor is that girl. And whether you guys like Taylor Swift or not, just like I said with Drake and Nicki, that's why I support these people, because they know how to beat the odds. Taylor is number one. She's constantly selling. She's constantly getting Grammys. She's constantly getting number one albums, number one records over people like Beyonce. And numbers don't lie. Taylor is a Sagittarius just like Nicki, so she does have that same abundance from her Sagittarius placement. But it's not even just that. And I know a lot of people like to say, oh, but she's Caucasian and she's blah, 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 blah. Yes, she is, but that's not it. It's a lot of other Caucasian artists, such as, you know, Miley Cyrus and, you know, Katy Perry and all these other great Caucasian artists, and Sabrina Carpenter too. I like Sabrina as well. But Taylor is that girl because of her work ethic. And I know people say she doesn't have half the talent Beyonce has. That may be true to an extent, but Taylor writes her own music. That's something that, Beyonce does not do often, and she doesn't do alone. Taylor has written a lot of her music, and we forget that Taylor is a hardworking woman. When she was going through that situation with her music catalog, she re-recorded all that music so that she could benefit it on her masters. Like, a lot of artists would not be able to do that and make it sound the same and still get the same amount of support. So don't make it seem like Taylor hasn't worked for what she has. She has that number one spot, and I love it for her, and I hope that she continues to keep her foot on Grandma B's neck. I'm just gonna keep it honest. She got her foot on Grandma's neck, and I know Beyonce did that shoot with her and tried to make it seem like, oh, I support you, girl. Like, we know Grandma B is fake, the robot is fake, but at the end of the day, they were fake to each other. We know that there's a rivalry there, but Taylor is winning. So Taylor's in the lead, and she has that number one spot of the 21st century biggest artist of the 21st. So congrats to Taylor Swift. I love her. We love her on this channel, okay? And I love how she gets up under certain people's skin. Anyway, so moving on to Beyonce herself. Now, Beyonce, they're saying that she may... Well, let's see what her spot is. I don't know what her spot is on the Billboard thing. I really didn't pay attention to it, to be quite honest, because I don't believe her numbers a lot of the time. Not all the time, but certain accolades I don't believe. Like, they said that Beyonce could be predicted to get the album of the year at the Grammys this year, which is coming up. And that's what she's always wanted, because Taylor Swift normally gets album of the year all the time. And Beyonce, as many Grammys as she has, I want to say she may have almost 30, if not 30. She's never won album of the year. Even with her husband, the Moose, being in cahoots and over the Grammys committee or whatever, she still hasn't gotten that. Even though, previous Grammys, he got up there and he whined and cried with his big moose face. And, like, oh, Beyonce should get this, Beyonce should get that. She gets everything. She has all kind of Grammys and accolades, but she can't, that's the thing. She can't win everything. And I think that's ridiculous. But, they want her to have full control and power. But that power is diminishing. So, they say she's going to get album of the year. If she gets it, I'm sure that's something she wanted. I don't necessarily, in my personal opinion, which could be unpopular, that's what this channel is for, I don't think that her album was the best album of the year in 2024. But I feel like there were other albums that could get that. But, it's not guaranteed. But if they're putting that out there as just a prediction, most likely the Moose finally was able to sway and connive and do whatever he does allegedly to make it happen for her. And whatever accolades work for her, they end up working for him, because he uses the Grandma Beyonce, and her accolades. That's his personal weapon and machine against the industry. So and that's one of his biggest assets in the industry. Like, 50 Cent admitted himself that, the Moose got with Beyonce, and that elevated his career and his status. So, he uses Beyonce like a workhorse. So, we'll end up seeing if she gets album of the year. If she doesn't, hopefully someone like Taylor or Sabrina or someone else can get it. Moving forward to Megan, the community coochie, CC Megan. That's what we call her over here, because she gives her cooch out to all. Her cooch is welcome for all. It's an open community for her. And, she lets any and everybody in the industry get a little piece of it. And I'm sure they're tired of it, and it's not, winning her any favor in the general public, because people are sick of her antics. But I can believe it at the same time, that the horse, Bigfoot, has been given she's been granted the 5-year restraining order to Tory. Even though Tory is incarcerated due to her and her alleged lies, in my opinion, she still was able to connive her way, probably with the help of Jay-Z the Moose. I wouldn't be surprised, and his attorneys, his quack lawyers, as I would call them. They're definitely quacks, pulling strings. But they made it happen to where she was granted the restraining order. Now, why you need a restraining order for someone who's already incarcerated and who's going to continue to be incarcerated for years, who really doesn't want anything to do with you and wants to stay away from you already because you've ruined his life, his reputation, everything. you know, I just don't understand why she needed it, and then why any judge would grant it unless they were allegedly paid off or in cahoots, which we know people like the Moose do have those strings to make that happen. But, you know, what Megan doesn't understand is she's hurting herself. She's hurting her reputation further than it's already been hurt. She's lost a lot of favor in the industry, and a lot of industry people are actually not feeling her. You know, from what I'm reading and seeing, a lot of them don't support her because they think that she is on BS, and she is. You know, people are seeing through her antics. You know, you are not innocent, Megan, in my opinion, and you never have been. And I think Megan does a lot of playing the victim all the time, and she cries and she puts on her victim wig that looks like a freaking bozo clown. And it's just like, when is she ever going to take accountability for anything? With all the fallings out that she's had with friends and stylists and other artists and this and that, boyfriends, everything, she falls out with everybody. It can't be everybody else. It has to be you. And we know that they try to say that about people like Nicki, but that really applies to Bigfoot. You know, it is her. And I'm just sad that Tory is continuing to go through that. But I do feel spiritually that Megan is going to get more of her karma, and I feel like it's going to continue to hurt her career. You know, she's put out two albums more so recently, and I guess she's going to be trying to put out another one. But they have all like fell flat to me, you know, with all the anticipation of her albums and tour that she did, and all of it fell flat. So, you know, the truth always comes out and comes to the light, and it's only so long that they can try to make her seem like she's a bigger artist than she is. Because if she's such a big artist, and if the black community and all the black women and Shea Butter Twitter, as they say, or Shea Butter X, whatever you want to call them now, who are really not intelligent if you ask me, if all of them support her so much, and all these hit tweets that they pay for allegedly, and all the different things they do to boost her up, why aren't y'all buying her music? Why not? Y'all tired of her twerking? Y'all tired of her pickle nose? Y'all tired of her big old feet? What is it? If y'all love her so much, why don't y'all buy her music? And I'm going to tell you why. Because y'all know that deep down inside, y'all don't truly support her. Y'all only support anybody who, you know, Nicki has a problem with, or has a problem with Nicki. That's who y'all support. But the support only lasts so long, and it only goes so far. And that is why Megan is, you know, with even her fake Grammys and everything else that they've given her, it still does not translate to numbers and sales. So, you know, whatever I think she's going to do an act 2 of her last album. I don't see it really doing well unless she's been on her knees for the Moose, and the Moose might just put some big money behind her, but he's been doing that, and she still ain't selling. So I don't know, but I feel bad for Tory, and hopefully that at some point Tory can be left alone by Megan the Monster, and she can get her karma. And I do believe we're going to end up seeing it, because the industry is sick and tired of her. And also, that was the point I wanted to make. Nobody's buying her music because it all sounds the same. We're not impressed. Girl, you're one-dimensional. You're a one-flow hoe. Give it up, baby. Give it up, Delicious. You look like a man. Okay, so y'all, that's really all I have for this video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like the video, give your opinion in the comments. Go ahead and comment whatever it is. If you agree with me or not, all comments are welcome. And just subscribe and support y'all, okay? Bye-bye.